Hey there, Tiger Shark here again with O'Connell. For this week I tried another horror game. This one is called Prison Island. Interestingly, the voice lines are all in Portuguese with no English option. Luckily, there are English subtitles.
O que foi isso?
Seems like I
Caiu
keep
acima!
stumbling on a lot of Portuguese indie game developers. I think that's pretty interesting. No hablo portugués, pero puedo entender un poco porque yo hablo español. Anyway, I'm not so sure I should review horror games. I don't handle jump scares very well. And for me, a lot of the weird stuff that happens is just so random and doesn't make enough sense, so it loses a lot of the fear factor. I said this in my Bad Dream series review, and I'll say it again. As far as I can tell, this one is pretty good. It has a very creepy atmosphere, aided by the sinister music. Although sometimes I think a game would be scarier with no music since we're all used to it being there all the time. I guess it would have to be done right for that to work though, but I don't know. Anyway, Prison Island is about a researcher who's trying to figure out what happened to a particular inmate of a particular prison. You basically just go through the prison with a lot of the common horror game creepy things happening around you. You have a regular flashlight and a UV flashlight to see hidden messages on the walls and floors. As I said, I may not really be the person to review horror games. This type of game is maybe better experienced as a live commentary, but I don't do this anymore. This one is a decent short horror experience though if you're looking for something new to try. I realize I don't really have anything else to say about it, so maybe I'll just rant about horror games for a minute or two. Too many horror games rely far too heavily on jump scares. That's just a cheap way of getting a reaction out of someone. Who wouldn't get startled by a loud noise and a demon face popping up right in front of you without warning? At least for me, it's really uncomfortable. It's not real horror. I just end up walking around the corners with a feeling of dread, wondering when the next jump scare is going to pop out, wondering if the next one is going to be the one that kills me by giving me a legit heart attack. There are much better ways to get the horror across without relying on cheap tricks like that. Take Subnautica, for example. I don't think Subnautica is technically classified as a horror game, but I've often heard it described as such. I absolutely love Subnautica. I've played it through a whole lot of times now. The feeling of dread when you venture out over a deep section of the map where the bottom is so far below you it just disappears into blackness. The fear of the unknown, not knowing what you're going to encounter as you venture farther and farther into the Lost River. Finding a Reaper Leviathan skeleton in the inactive lava zone and wondering what could possibly prey on the biggest and scariest monsters in the ocean. Above all, just the loneliness of being the only living human in the entire crater. The devs of Subnautica absolutely nailed it without the need for jump scares. Well, I guess I have technically been jump scared by a Reaper coming up behind me unexpectedly, but that's more just me being less aware of my surroundings than I should have been. My point is, it can be done really well, and more devs should take notes from games like Subnautica. Alright, I've cooled down from my ranting now. If you like horror games, you should give Prison Island a shot. Link will be in the description. That's all for this one, and as always, I hope you have a spectacular day.